So literally at the 11th hour of what was set to be Car Crash TV on Saturday night, we get word that, well, I mean, some people would say their worst nightmare. Me, I was just looking forward to the entertainment standpoint of it. But we're getting word that Christopher Lovejoy versus Dave Allen now officially off. A lot of reasons stemming from the fact that, you know, Lovejoy promoted by Don King. I mean, none of us knew that. Considering the fact that he's only ever fought in Tijuana, you know, I mean, none of us knew that. Whatever, a deal couldn't be reached, this, that, and the other, and the fight is now off. I don't know what they're going to do with Dave Allen, whether they're going to get... I'm assuming he's off the card now, because, you know, how are they going to get an opponent in? You know, this isn't like in Russia when, you know, Povetkin fought Johan Duhaupas on what, like 10 hours notice or something like that. It was something crazy like that, because if you remember back to that fight, but Bermain Stavern and Povetkin weighed in. They'd actually weighed in. And I think it was the day of the fight, or like the evening before it, like late in the evening before the fight, they announced that Povetkin had failed for Osterine and that they needed an opponent. And that was where they drafted in Johan Duhaupas, who was over there as a fan, which is crazy. I don't know if they'll do so. They won't do something like that to that level, but I don't know if they have someone waiting in reserve or what they're going to have. I mean, but really, right, Christopher Lovejoy was going to be pretty terrible. Let's face it, he was probably going to be terrible. So what are you thinking? Better than him? Who are you going to get that's anyway better? That's going to take a fight in a day's notice. This pay-per-view is a write-off. That's me being nice. I'm being nice when I say that this pay-per-view is a write-off, because I could be a lot more harsh about my assessment of this pay-per-view. I'm not paying for it. The only thing I was looking forward to was I was curious to see the main event. I think Chisora seems fired up, at the weigh-in. But in terms of like the undercard, I wasn't looking forward to any of the fights. But from an entertainment point of view, from just a theatrical point of view, and what the post fights would be like with me, Dell, and and Rival, how our post fights would be, we were looking forward to just seeing this fight. And now it's on. And that wasn't compelling me to buy it. But now this card is extremely. This is one of the weakest cards that match we've done on pay-per-view I think I've ever seen. I always try and sound positive, put a positive spin on things, but this is extremely weak. Very weak for a pay-per-view card. For a pay-per-view card, it's not good. It isn't good. In terms of Dave Allen, I mean, Jesus. What you see now, he'll come back now about 30 pounds overweight in his next fight, and he'll use this as the reason why he wasn't motivated to train. I think he used that excuse once already when the Lenroy Thomas fight, when the cut happened in the first round, and he came back like 30-40 pounds heavier only like a month and a half later or something like that. I remember that he weighed like 230 something in that fight, and then he fought on like a small hall show and he was like 270. So maybe something like that will happen again, who knows. Yeah, look, I could go on, but I might do a stream later and just talk about it more in depth then. Me and my live streams, I tend to be a bit less PC is a bad word. I don't like using that word, but I tend to be a bit. I get to be a bit more out there, in the live stream. So I'll talk about this later on a live stream, probably if I have free time tonight. Other than that, peeps, I'll leave it here. I'm on my lunch break now anyway, so I said I'd make a video and talk about this now. I'll talk to you, peeps. Smash the like button. Of course, by the way, smash the like button if you haven't already. Hashtag King of Ripped Jeans, G-Man's Rocks, all that good stuff, as we all know in the comment section. I'll talk to you, peeps. Peace.